Hey everybody, Mike Fifer, Fifer Hobby Supply. Today we're going to do the ACT 5 update number 1. I know a lot of you guys have been looking forward to this. You can see some of what I got done out here. We're going to attach a video to this, but I'm going to show you something up front here. What I'm going to do, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do today a little bit later in the video. How about that? But let's get on with this. Okay, everybody, you'll have seen all this already, but you haven't seen it, I don't think, raised up to its correct height. So it is now at its correct height. It is even with the lines that I made on the wall with the laser level all the way around. I had hell with these corners because being as these are all different pieces of wood that were rescued from the old layout, that piece of wood and the one in the opposite corner were screwed at an angle into the corner before this piece was put on. Therefore, I couldn't get to the screw heads, and it just turned out to be kind of a mess. But you can see that all of this is at the correct level. I have taken out some of the stringers, and I'm going to swing back here. I did have kind of a hard time I had to pull that piece on the end downward, undo it and pull it downward, which really put a kink in this over here. And then reattach the corner and put that piece back up there. And I had to do that to get in there to lift that up. I had to move this cabinet again. This cabinet just has models that I don't want to get broken that are being saved. But I have it at the correct level all the way around. What I do not have is the new legs cut. So I have the old legs and a piece of 1x out here holding up the end of the layout. Excuse me. But I have some 2x4s here, and I am going to use the 2x4s in the 2x4 manner, just because I'm too lazy to get out the table saw and cut them into 2x2s. But if I get unlazy, I might do that. Not to mention that here we are in New Mexico. We've had 70-degree temperatures, and it snowed today. So anyway, you can see that the layout is up, and according to this level here, it's pretty level. Of course, it's that level. I just threw it up there to get it out of the way. I've been stacking some stuff out of the way. I have a trash can here that can be moved anywhere. But maybe later today I'm going to try and put the permanent legs on. And if I get the permanent legs on, then I'll start taking off the rest of the stringers so that it will just be one continuous flat layout. So we'll see where I get to with that. I have a buddy coming over, and we'll probably do a lot of BSing. He had some arm surgery. Anyway, this is what we have right now, and let me show you outside. Of course, most of it's melted, but let me show you outside what we had or woke up to this morning. We woke up to this, and it looks like we might get a little bit of clear sky. And if we do, and if I get around in time, I'll bring a table out here. I've already got my chop saw down here. And if it clears out enough, I may go rip those 2x4s in half. But we'll see how we get, how it is this afternoon. But this is what we have today, and it's supposed to do the same thing tomorrow. Okay, I was going to tell you guys about the catastrophe that I had. I didn't want to leave you hanging. But all my little 143rd cars I had sitting up there, two of which, the turbine car and the Indy car, when I was sawing this wall right here and sawing this end off the layout when it was out here. Of course, the one that I spent 100 hours on, the turbine car 143rd metal kit, fell on the floor and broke. But the good news is I think I can put it all back together. It's kind of pretty much intact. I think it's all intact, but anyway, we shall see. So now I've taken all those down off the shelf there. Nothing else up here moved. I did have a horny toad fall off the wall over there twice while I was doing the sawing and screwing and hammering on that corner. Everything else is intact. None of the other cars have rolled off or anything. So I think I'm pretty good to go because I think I'm pretty much done with most of the hacking, sawing, and vibrating. Maybe. But that's it. I have all this stuff piled in the corner. Okay, everybody. This is, what is this? Wednesday night. And I have several good pieces of news. One is, as you can see around here, I have all of it attached to the wall, which I think I mentioned in the previous clip. But I also have all the risers off of it, which was quite involved, being as all my electrical boxes were tied to it. Now, I still have a couple things laying up there. I have a level laying up there, and it's all of what you see here is all level. And what you'll also see is I have new legs cut. Got new legs. Mr. Dan's got new legs. Lieutenant Dan. Anyway, sorry for that poor rendition. But you can see that I have one on the far corner, one down there, one down there, one in the middle where there always has been one, and one down here on this end. And this thing is rock solid. Rock solid. So it's all level. It's got legs under it. We're good to go. Two other pieces of news I have is a while back I went on eBay and somebody had, I believe, might have been 7 or 8 Instant Horizon backdrops that they were selling as a group for like $28, but $17 shipping. But I bid on them and I won them. So I've got some tall timbers. I've got some of these boom towns. I've got some of the desert to mountain transitions. I have a whole bunch, so I can start patching in all of this backdrop that you see. So anyways, I can come all the way on around. I can put in backdrop as if I want to. I've got a piece of mountain that can go in front of this piece of mountain over here. Not a big deal. But anyway, I have all the backdrops I need to probably tie all of this stuff together. And that's a good thing because many of those, especially the tall timber ones and stuff, are out of production. The other piece of good news is I placed another bid on eBay for 2 of the Walthers plastic trestle kits, new in the box still. And for some reason, the guy was selling 2 of them at once, and I won the bid on both of those for like $52. So I have a plan for one down on the end of the mountain over here. And the other one I'll probably turn around and sell. But they were going for about $40 a piece, $30 to $40 a piece. So anyways, I won those. But the big news and good news is all of this is level all the way around there. As I hold the camera relatively level. So this is where we are tonight. Here's all my stringers. Gavin wants all this wood. So this will all go outside and he'll pick that up when he comes over again. I had the room all cleaned today, but it's all messy again. But this is where we're at on Wednesday evening. Okay, the first thing we're going to do today is I'm going to show you the things that we're going to start out with that are going to be brand new on this layout. The first few things. Nothing big deal, but here we go. The first thing is that I'm going to need to get going is, this isn't a new package, but this is a 100 pack of single edge razor blades. A new bottle of Tight Bond. A new package of 1 5/8 screws, which are going to hold the stringers. A new car that my sweetie got me. This will be the first new car on the ACT5 once it gets running. I mean, it'll be the newest car that I have gotten. And some of you may have seen a video I did about putting up these backdrops using a dollhouse wallpaper paste called mucilage. And it's made by Mini Graphics, the wallpaper people for dollhouses. Robin went to, I had another errand to run today, but Robin went to Hobby Lobby today to get me some of it. They had 1 bottle of it left, and of course it was broken and rock hard. So I got to thinking, I said, what did I do with the one I had? And I've looked everywhere. Of course, this place has been shuffled like 5 decks of cards. So I don't know where it is. I need it to put this stuff up. I don't know if I'm going to get that far, and we won't be videoing that today. I'll show you once it's through. But I happened to think of something, and I don't know if it's going to work, but this is the Woodland Scenics water ripples. And I'm not going to, well, maybe I can open this up, but I don't think you can see inside of here. You can kind of see it. It's kind of a jelly looking stuff. What I can say about this is for putting on top of their realistic or their water system. And it looks exactly like the mucilage to put up dollhouse wallpaper. So I'm going to take and cut some bottom pieces off, test pieces, and I'm going to try and adhere them to the bottom of this masonite over here and see if this works. If it does, I won't have to order some and wait on it to get here to apply anything. But I'm going to give this a shot and see if it's the same stuff. It looks like the same stuff, but we'll give it a shot. But I'm going to set up, I have the table, the fold-up white table that you saw my building sit on. I'm going to put that up here, and I'm going to start cutting out some of the backdrops that I spoke about, and we're going to swing around right now, and I'm going to show you the smoking deal I got on those and what I got. Okay, I'm going to barely be in this, but I got all 8 of these, and I can't remember what I paid. It's immaterial, but try and go and buy some of these discontinued backdrops and see how much they cost you on eBay. Plus shipping. But I bought all 8 of these from one girl actually, who absolutely had no idea what she was selling and got them for a ridiculously low price. But the beauty of it is it includes almost every one I need to redo it, not completely redo, but add to what I have out here to make it into what I need to make it into for this layout. So we'll just go over it real quick. We have a desert to country. We have a mountains to desert. We have a desert to mountains, which these two here are just a flip-flop. The mountains are on one side, the desert's on the other side of each other. That comes in very handy depending on which way you need to take the scenery. So I've got each one of those. I've got the hotel business. I've got another hotel business, which I don't think I'll ever need. This is a new one, and I believe you might still be able to get this one. The Sierra Boomtown is actually one on the other side over here, and it was the one on the far left of where I've been standing all these years over there. on the other side of what used to be the double tunnel, the lower and upper tunnels over there, cut down, but it's got big trees on it. I've got tall timber. This is the hardest one to come across. This has got it's the high mountain tall timber stuff. And I'm actually going to fill in some back there on the corner with this and then transition down, I believe, with the mountain to desert. We'll see how that all works out. I'm going to try and piece stuff out and hold it up there and see how it's going to work, how I can paint it in and all of that. But I have the boomtown, I've got the tall timber, and I've got the mountains to deserts, okay? I've got the freight yards, and as I said, I've got the hotel business, and I've got the desert to country, which is a kind of a low one, which may work over here by the mountains. Anyway, this is just a good combination of all the backdrops, and like I say, I got a smoking deal on it. A lot of them are discontinued. In fact, all of these may be discontinued. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which ones are still available. But the timber ones and the tall timber ones are the ones that they seem to have discontinued. So I don't know, but those are the ones I need on the other side of the room over here. So anyway, this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to lay that table out. I'm going to get these things out, lay them out there, and kind of figure out how I can fill in going around what would be the east wall over here to the north wall, and then back around to this wall over here. But, okay, I forgot to tell you one more thing that I got off eBay that I got a pretty good deal on. Some of you may remember the old yellow box Walther's plastic tall trestle kits. They were an extremely nice trestle kit and can be painted to look just like wood. I found a guy selling 2 of those together, and I won that bid for $50, which sounds like a lot of money, but go looking for those if you don't want to build a wood trestle. And I don't want to build a wood trestle. But I have a place over here on the other side, behind the camera now, where I'm going to want to use one of those. And by the way, those kits are, you can build them any length, you can build them any height, and you can build them straight or curved. So they're very flexible to use. While I have never built one, I have seen the inside of the kit boxes. And probably what I'll do is I will probably use one here and turn around and sell the other one. But I'm not sure about that. I may find a place to use the other one somewhere on the layout. But they are, once again, it's a model that's very hard to come by, and when you do, guys want a fortune for them. And this guy had 2 together. Had 2 together. So, if you look at it that way, they were $25 a piece. I don't think you can buy one for $25 if you find one on eBay. But anyway, that's another smoking deal. I've paid for them. I have not gotten anything saying they have been sent to me, but the guy's reputable on there. But you'll see that later on as well, but I just wanted to fill you in. But we'll see if I add anything to this video, but probably not because it'll get too long. But I want to thank you guys for being here today and taking a look. By the way, the reason I had my jacket on at the beginning, it's about 30 degrees outside and it's been snowing all day. Of course, it doesn't stick to the ground here, but it has been snowing all day. I had to make a trip out to the fairgrounds today to drop off some trash in the dumpster out there, which we are allowed to use because of us having the club out there. So that being said, I'm going to quit rambling and I'm going to start working. Well, gang, I got my table set up. I didn't want to extend the legs out, so I'll work on it down here. And the disadvantage to these things is they're always rolled up face inward in the box. So you have to roll them backwards, and you kind of gotta roll them in kind of tight, as tight as you can, which I've already done. Then you can lay them out and they're relatively flat. And I'm just going to take some scissors and rough cut this along the edge and hold it up in that hole right up there, and see how this is going to work to fill in, see how high I need to raise it or lower it, or how much of it I need to use. But it'll wind up being the backdrop for the mountain that's going to be here. And the mountain that's going to be here will likely have the radio tower and stuff on it. It'll also have the Indian ruin on it that's right there. But anyway, I'm going to just rough cut this out, put it up there, and I'm not going to really show you anything else about these. The only disadvantage to these when I got them is that they smell like a cigarette factory. But it's just something I got to live with until that goes away. But anyway, got a good deal. I'm happy I have them, and that's that. Okay, I said I wasn't going to do any more video today, but I'm trying to figure stuff out. That's about how high the Indian ruin will be. The loop of track will come down about, the running loop will be about that high. Anyway, it's hard to visualize here. But anyway, where I cut this off, I had to put a piece of a backdrop in right there, and I will paint that in a little better, match it up. On the diagram, you see the 3 interchange tracks going back this way. I will put some mountain in there coming down to that. It'll be a cut, like a cut, and it'll go through there, and we'll disguise that somehow, tie it into that backdrop somehow. I don't know how. I have these 2 pieces down here cut. I'm going to put those together and cut them out better and put them as high in that spot as I can, and then tie them together, paint them together somehow on each end. Not exactly sure how. Now, the mountain down here, or the hill down here, will not be quite as high, I'm hoping, because it has to recede down over here to the kind of to the town area. I just have this stuff propped up there at approximately layout height. I got a lot of ideas going on here, cutting out these short sections which were pieced in there to begin with. Cut those out, use them on the ends where it fades away, over there where it fades away into the oil field back there. There is, hang on a minute, this little end right here, cut that out. Disguise this with a tree or something, or paint, I don't know what to do. Paint it out, put something in front of it, but just use, if you can picture, that much of it, and put that right over here, receding down to where those distant buildings are over there, so that it will look like there was some building there. And then disguise that with rocks, or it would be behind a rock outcropping or something like that, but it takes me down to a lower level and a more distant level. So this will likely be cut off of this piece and inserted over there. I like those 2 pieces together, although because that's a reverse of this over here, I am going to physically cut parts of that mesa off, paint out the mine there, paint out the track, paint out the station, paint out the saguaros just like I did on the other one, and I am going to change the shape of this mountain here. This mountain will likely just go up and crest and come down here and go over here and down there, and probably get rid of this background mountain or move it somewhere else. The purple mountain will stay there. The greenery will stay there. Well, I don't know about that, because I'm going to cut this rock right across. Well, I don't know how I'm going to tie this in, but this rock, the shape of this rock is going to change. So I'll paint this hill back in and possibly bring it over here. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to go, but it's going to work there. And of course, the mountain going up on that side is definitely going to have to be cut off. It's just too tall for the scene. But we'll figure out how to tie that in after. Of course, the drive-in will go away. Haven't got around to that. That piece, let me go over here. That piece is definitely going to go there. That masonite piece is definitely going to go there in front of that, the mountains there. And I might make another one of those and try and paint in my own foliage or something back there. I'm not exactly sure. There again, not exactly sure. It'll all be played by ear as I go. And then trying to tie this in down here, I may make another piece of masonite and put something on it and then screw it up there. So, and of course this piece down here will be bent and come around this corner right to that end right there. And I don't know how far that'll get me. I don't know if it'll get me the mill or the grain elevator or not, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. So that's kind of what I have so far with the pieces I have so far, and it's all just temporarily, some of it was temporarily taped. The Indian ruins is temporarily up there. The shape of that can be changed. Anything can be changed there to accommodate it, okay? And you have to picture that this is only about 30 inches wide right now, and it's going to be 40 inches wide. So it's going to stick out another 10 inches to have all the stuff on it that I want on it. So anyway, this is kind of what I've been goofing with. And now I'm really going to end this. Well, gang, I hope you enjoyed that. This is the first video of trying to get this ready. And as you can see, the priority is filling in these gaps in the scenery and changing it over here on the, what would be my north wall over here. The wall, what would be my west wall, or the wall behind the camera here, is the one with the mountains on it, where the yard used to be. The yard will still be there, but instead of the city district being there, that'll be more out a ways. But I'm going to have to kind of play that by ear, see what kind of scenery I can fit in there, what I can paint in, what I can paint out, what'll work and everything. The mountains are staying. But anyway, we'll get into that another day. I hope you enjoyed the stuff you saw today. And as usual, thanks for sticking with me on the ACT5.